Athletes on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in here. Hope you're having a good Sunday afternoon leading into the nighttime. Settle in. Have some fun with us here on a Sunday night as we get to at least my shift rolling here on a Sunday night. Tonight we have some special guests making their debut shows. And so it's a special chance to meet a few of the young athletes here in Lincoln that we hope have enough fun here that they'll come back again for a few more times. So if you stick with me here, Kaylee Denker of Bellevue University Basketball will be joining us in the next hour. But today we're very excited to bring in and welcome into the Ticket family, Ty Roderiques, who was recently welcomed into the Husker family. Ty, good to talk to you here this hour as we kind of get to learn who you are and your story, your path here, and your future aspirations.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I am Jake Bachman, by the way, if I didn't say my name out of the break. So here, let's go ahead and get rolling. So Ty, let's first off let people know, it's a crazy college sports town. Everybody gets into Husker athletics. What sport are you going to be playing here?
I will be competing for the men's gymnastics team here in the upcoming spring.
And this is your first year here in Lincoln?
Yes, I'm a freshman.
Wow. So where did you make your where did you grow up, I suppose?
I was born and raised in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee. Okay. That's they've got a lot of orange around there, as I've heard. Yeah.
A lot of orange.
Pretty good men's gymnastics programs too?
There's actually no men's gymnastics programs over on the East Coast.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, maybe that makes a little bit more sense than why you were have made your way out here to Nebraska. Of course, we know Nebraska men's gymnastics, a very good program. What kind of what helped your decision in making it choose at your home?
Man, there were many choices that came in to me ultimately choosing here, but it all came down to the culture of this place. The team culture is just on another level. The coaching staff cares for their athletes more than any other place in the world. The respect that athletes have here is just off the charts, and the athletic accommodations are just as well off the charts. And it just felt like home, and I loved that.
So have you started enrolling in class and get going yet?
I have, yes.
How's that been, the acclimation from high school to college?
It's definitely been a little challenging, not just the school, having to do my own laundry and make my own bed, it's definitely not easy, but school has been going well. I've just wrapped up my first summer class, and I'm about to start in the fall in about 12 or so days. So,
okay.
Not really looking forward to that, but it's part of it. It's part of it.
That's right. It's part of the deal. Did you make sure to enjoy your summers as you were growing up, or did you have to work them the last couple of years?
I've been enjoying them, but being a gymnast growing up, I've had like morning workouts from 8 a.m. to 12. Then after that, I like to go to the lake with some friends, go swim, So I get around. I enjoy myself.
Yeah. Well, have you been able to get to the lake and move around out here yet, or mostly still acclimating? Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah. Well, we do have a few lakes here, so at least you'll be glad to hear that. If that's one of your favorite places to still go. How did you feel the first class go? I always wonder, because some kids once they make the transition, obviously can tell you, hey, it was just pretty much like a high school class. It didn't really, and then other people have kind of more of a struggle when they're getting to it.
Yeah, it wasn't too much harder than a normal high school class, I would say. It was definitely different because it's not as much work, but the work it will take more time, but it's not the same amount of number of like assignments that you would do, but you definitely have to try a lot harder because your grades matter, because if your grades aren't good, you can't compete and can't have that. So
yeah, absolutely. So what is it like growing up as a gymnast? I suppose when I ask you your summers, I don't know if your summers are open or if what's kind of the prime competing season for gymnasts.
Prime competing season is actually about year round, but growing up, I would usually have my first competition in about December, and we would go till about August of the next year. So it's really year round.
Oh,
and doing school is kind of challenging with gymnastics because my program growing up would have practice at 2:30, and normal schools get out at 3:30, 4 o'clock. So I would have to work with my principal and my local community colleges that I could take dual enrollment classes that would allow me to leave school at around 1:30, 2 o'clock, so I could drive all the way to my gym and be able to practice with my team. So it was definitely hard to be working around all of that stuff as well as getting my school done. But I made it work and it paid off eventually. The college credits transferred to here. So I've definitely got a head start on college. But it definitely is a lot harder than most people would think being an athlete as well as a student. But, you know, you got to get the work done.
That's right. It's all part of the deal, which we'll have to continue to do. As unfortunately,
Yes.
as of now, we still make the college kids go to class. So we'll see how that goes. But of course, and then the next kind of question is because as I kind of look up your name and see your shirt today, you've got a USA gymnastics shirt on.
I do.
How is what kind of program is that, or how does one earn that?
So I am actually on the USA national team, and I have been for 2 years now, which is a very high honor. It's the highest achievement of my career. And we have 3 national team camps every year at the United States Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs. And that's actually where I got this shirt. Actually, no, I got this shirt when I traveled internationally about a couple months ago to compete for Team USA in London. And we took the gold as a team, and I took the gold in the all around.
Well, that's a pretty cool story. I'm going to have to dive a little bit more into that. Was it your first travels internationally, or have you done?
No, it was my second.
Yeah. Okay. Where else have you been?
I went to Canada in March of 2024, and we also won first as a team.
Okay, also competing there. Well, how would you, if someone were to say from the outside, I don't know how much visiting you're able to do, Canada or London?
Oh, London.
London was cool.
Canada in the winter is not very fun. Way too many coats on at one time.
Oh, okay.
I was messing with my range of motion.
Oh, it was. It messed you up a little. You think? How was London? Did you get to do any kind of sightseeing, or was it mostly business there?
It was mostly business, but me and my family decided to stay a couple days, and we went and we took a train to Paris. Saw the Eiffel Tower, saw the Louvre. Obviously, had to get a crepe from a nearby vendor, and it was great. It was great family time.
Yeah, sounds like a good time. And I don't want to just overlook those gold medals. So when you're saying you compete for them, and obviously at kind of the high school level, is that like an under 18 type of deal? And then how is once you pass under 18, is that just that's the final level?
So once you get over the age of 18, you enter the senior division, which is ages 18 to beyond, and it makes it a lot harder to find yourself back to the national team because you're not just competing against people your age, you're competing against people 5 to 10 years older with a lot more experience.
Okay.
So it just makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, that makes sense. Larger pool to kind of pick from there. How did you go about making that team? It's not the old kind of just put your videos up on YouTube type of thing. How did you gain that awareness?
So the way that you make the U.S. national team is at developmental nationals every year in May. You can qualify to USA championships, which is like the Super Bowl for men's gymnastics. And you qualify by being top 16 in your age group out of like 500. And you go to this meet, USA championships, which is usually a couple months after nationals. And you compete on a podium in an arena, lights in your face. It's a lot different. Stakes are high. And you have to get top 5 in your age group. And I got number 3. And that is how you qualify.
Yeah. And so how does when you kind of going back to your high school too, I guess how do you compete? Does your high school doesn't necessarily have a team, right? Do you have to get on a club team?
Men's gymnastics is not very popular in this country. So you have to compete for like a nearby club gym. And my club gym is called Gym Tech Academy, or it was. And pretty much it's people from all over the country actually move to come here. I've had teammates move from Oregon, I've had teammates move from New York, from Memphis, all the way down to Knoxville to train with us because there's just not a ton of club gyms everywhere. And even the ones that there are don't have the best equipment. And I was very fortunate to be at such an amazing club gym. And you compete for them and you go to different competitions and you can rank nationally. We ranked second last year at nationals. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And you were born in Knoxville, though.
You
were just kind of already luckily placed there. So when did you know that you were gymnastics was a calling when you were a kid? Maybe if it wasn't something, maybe all the kind of the kids in class, like you said, not as popular as just a sport that people pick from in high school.
Yeah, so it's kind of a unique story. My sister growing up was put in gymnastics classes, And I would always go with my mom and sit and do homework, but watch her. And I would always go out on the floor and I would, jump around, tumble around. And some old recreational coaches would come up to my mom and say, I want this kid to try out for team because I think he could be pretty good. And, my parents put me in that sport without even knowing where it would take me. They thought it would just be a phase. And I stuck with it. And there have been times where growing up, I didn't love it as much, but just had to work through it. And it was a great experience to be a part of that. And I'm very thankful for it.
Absolutely. Are you a multi-sport athlete, or did you kind of stick to gymnastics?
Growing up, I did a couple of different sports. I did soccer and karate as well as gymnastics, and then I eventually dropped soccer and karate when I got to like the fourth grade to strictly focus on gymnastics.
Mm. Was it pretty evident by then that you had that was where your future was more
Yeah,
so than the others?
yeah, it was definitely evident that I liked gymnastics more, but also gymnastics requires a lot more practice than a normal sport does. We practice about 20 to 22 to 24 hours a week. So I didn't really have time for other sports. I barely had time for homework and family time. So adding a whole nother sport was just not really in the picture.
Oh, and it's kind of interesting too because at least in that aspect of soccer, you kind of get the team dynamic, and not that you don't have a team in gymnastics, but it's more of a kind of a solo output, right? A solo effort. How was that? With the team dynamic, I suppose I'm asking it if people unfamiliar to gym, how does the team dynamic still play when it's mostly you versus you out there?
So the team dynamic definitely does have a play. In gymnastics more than people would think. It is an individual sport when it comes down to individual awards, but there are also team competitions. Like in the Olympics, there is a team competition. In NCAA, all it is team competition.
Mm.
And it definitely does play a factor because there will be times when you're asked to compete maybe one or two events when typically you would compete all six events for yourself. And it's an adjustment because you have to be a team player and you have to put the team first and know that the team success matters more than your individual success, but also realizing the better you are as an individual, the better your team will be. And it's hard to accept sometimes that you're not going to be the number one guy on a team, but you have to play into the role of being a team player. And that's kind of where you learn the dynamic from.
Huh, that's interesting. Ty Roderiques here, the new Husker freshman gymnast, joining the program here from Knoxville, Tennessee, and joining the Ticket family here as well as we kind of have the debut episode. We're kind of getting to know Ty a little bit more and run through his sport, gymnastics, as we maybe familiarize ourselves with it a little bit. For those that usually tune in around this time, do not fret. Emma Spence will be back. And she was on this week as well, just not able to record today. So we figured we would swap out one gymnast for the next year. But we'd like to thank you again for joining us on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Jake Buckovic in here with Ty, and we will continue this discussion here with the gymnastics and being recruited. We kind of went over that a little bit. When you say, especially NCAA, more of a team event than an individual event, and you have your kind of different roles. What is the role that was kind of pitched to you upon arrival here for Nebraska Husker men's gymnastics?
So I am an all-around gymnast, which means I do all events: floor, pommel, rings, vault, P-bars, and high bar. And when I was being recruited here, I was brought on to be an all-arounder. There's no guarantees in the sport. It's the same as football or baseball. If you're brought in to be a quarterback, you're not just going to start on day one. But in this sport, it's a little bit different because us on the Nebraska men's gymnastics team, we lost 9 of our seniors last year. It's a very disappointing loss. So we had to recruit a lot of freshmen. And my role coming in was hopefully to be the all arounder, like the guy that they can trust. And I have to earn that role, but that is the goal. And that's what I'm going to work for, as well as helping out where I can as a teammate and just seeing how far we can take the team.
Sure. And on a given team, how many of people are designated more for the all arounds as opposed to maybe just one squarely on bars? You usually have to have at least 2 or 3 things you can kind of focus on, or what is the kind of typical recruit look like, I guess?
So the typical recruit going into college usually is an all-arounder because you don't really specialize as a young buck because you don't know how good you're really going to be because you're not fully done developing. But normally people will come in recruited as an all-arounder, and then in their first couple of weeks, maybe in their first year, they'll end up dropping a couple events because they're like, "Hey, my shoulder kind of hurts on this one. I'm not very good at it. I'd rather focus more on this event." So you'll see most people do that. But I would say normally just about every single person is technically an all-arounder coming in as a recruit. But after that first year, I would say probably half of them will remain as an all-arounder, but maybe only one will actually compete as an all-arounder.
Okay, interesting stuff. And then as far as NCAA gymnastics too, how long have you been a fan or at least an onlooker of NCAA? It's kind of interesting, as I mentioned, Emma. Coming from Canada, didn't know a whole lot about it when she got on board. So, I know some gymnasts have to kind of learn. Maybe some don't focus on it so much, and to others, it might be their biggest hobby to follow the sport. Where did you kind of land?
For me, it is my biggest hobby. I am definitely in that category. I follow this sport all the time. I watch it all the time. I study it all the time. But not just this sport. I follow other NCAA sports because it's my passion. But specifically with gymnastics and NCAA, I watch just about all the meets that I can. I take notes from these meets. I try to travel to these meets when I can. Typically, like the NCAA championships, I like to travel. Last year was in Ann Arbor. I wasn't able to make that one, but I was able to make 2024 in Columbus, Ohio. But I love the NCAA gymnastics. I think it's great for us to have exposure to be able to compete, and it's very unique to watch how different people will compete when they're put on a big stage. And I just like to analyze that sometimes.
Absolutely, and there's nothing cooler than a championship event,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
absolutely.
at the end of the day, somebody's going to be making lifelong memories, and well, everybody will, but some people bring home, the gold and such. What you mentioned, kind of some other sports that you like to follow as well. What are some of the other NCAA sports that you pay attention to?
Well, I'm an American guy, so I love football,
Fair enough.
obviously.
Yeah.
I like baseball, I like basketball. I really like volleyball, specifically Nebraska women's volleyball. Yeah, just to name a few.
Yeah. And what is your major? What is your goals through college?
My major is sports media and broadcasting and a minor in business. And my goal in college academically is to be an academic All-American. And when I graduate, get a good degree and hopefully get an internship at ESPN that will turn into an actual job and be a talk show host.
Well, there you go. Yeah, this is a good place to start. Then at least you can get a few reps in as we go here. So, were you growing up in Knoxville? Were you a Tennessee fan in most of these other sports?
I was a very big Tennessee football fan, and I was very disappointed to find out that they canceled the game against
Oh
Nebraska
yes.
for 2026 and 2027. But I definitely am trying to stop bleeding orange and start bleeding more red, if you know what I mean. Because now that I'm here, got to eat some more corn, and
Yeah, there you go.
so
Well, I shouldn't say you were. Yeah, you can still be a Tennessee fan. I mean, that's if it's still a little bit in your blood, but obviously now that you're a Husker, you're on the team. You can't be more of a Husker than that. So yeah, you got to get used to that as well as we go through it. Why as you kind of look at these, the sport over the years, do you think gymnastics maybe isn't a sport in some of the eastern region of the country?
so it's very unfortunate, but men's gymnastics is not an extremely popular sport, and it has gained a lot more popularity in the last year because of the Olympics, but it's still not nearly enough. And me personally, my goal is to change that to bring more popularity to the sport. But there's only about 17 or 18 colleges in the entire country that have men's gymnastics. So it is very hard for people to follow it when there's just not a huge outlet for it.
Mm.
And I couldn't tell you why there isn't a ton of teams on the East Coast, but the closest team to where I live is Ohio State. It's about 5, 6 hours away. But Big Ten teams have more. There's about 6 Big Ten teams that have a team. So I guess it's just more of a Midwest kind of thing.
Hmm. And how many teams are in the Big Ten? Is it just that, or do they go to other schools as well?
There is a team at Nebraska, Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, and Illinois.
Okay. And how about for you? How many of these schools that made contact, or did you kind of talk to?
I had contact from all of those schools. I
Mm.
took official recruiting trips to here, Illinois, Michigan, and Penn State as well. So only Big Ten schools.
Only Big Ten schools. And why was there a reason for that?
No, there wasn't a reason for that. That was just
Kinda
the
happened.
schools. That was just the schools that reached out that had the most compelling offer and where I had the most interest.
And when you were growing up, obviously with Tennessee not having a program, did you find a rooting interest anywhere? Did you have any heroes that maybe had been competing in the last 10 years or so?
I definitely have had some gymnastics idols that I've looked up to, but most of them were just teammates. They didn't
Mm.
really make a big name for themselves, but they were just very good friends and older brother figures that I really needed in my life. And I would say that instead of idolizing other Olympian or NCAA gymnasts, I idolized my teammates that were above me that helped me get to where I am.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad way of doing it either. Have any of them gone on to have success in gymnast still?
A couple. I actually, one of my teammates growing up is here on the men's gymnastics team, and on Saturday he made the senior national team for USA at USA Championships.
Okay, well, congratulations to him. And how about out of your academy too that you were kind of talking about? How many of those typically students that go there get the opportunity to compete in college?
At my academy, my club gym, typically just about everyone that graduates goes on to NCAA, which is completely unheard of. No other gym in the country does that. No other gym in the country sends people to college like that. But that just shows how special my club gym was. And there've only been a couple people that have graduated through my program that didn't go on to NCAA, and it wasn't because they couldn't, it was just because they chose not to.
Okay, yeah, interesting stuff. Very compelling first segment, but we do have to take a break. We got to pay a few bills here on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll continue after this with more. To learn more from Nebraska Husker new gymnast, freshman gymnast Ty Roderiques. We'll be back with more of that here on 93.7 The Ticket in just a few moments.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Western Sand and Gravel is hiring for a variety of positions at their sand and gravel plants near Ashland. Apply today and receive a $2,500 hiring bonus. Available positions include plant operators, dredge operators, and shop service technicians. They offer great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, paid holidays, and paid time off. No matter your experience level, on-the-job training is available to help you build a rewarding career with Western Sand and Gravel. Start your career today. Visit westernsand.com.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello and welcome back into Ticket Weekends with Ty Roderiques. I'm Jake Bakoven in studio alongside freshman new Husker Ty Roderiques, who is getting through his summer classes, as we were learning earlier in the first segment, and ready to kind of get down to business here as we start up school for the fall. Ty, when does the official I should say gymnastics season start for Nebraska? Like, what are you doing to get prepared for that at this time?
Season for Nebraska starts, I believe, in the first couple weeks of January. We don't have our schedule released yet.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Right now we're still in summer training, getting those upgrades in to try and get our routines to the highest level possible.
Absolutely. And how much time does that take? I mean, what is a kind of a typical week look like, I suppose, as far as that goes?
A typical week looks like practice from 2 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then the weekends are off right now. We also have 7 a.m. weights training Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
And is weight training in gymnastics very specific to the athlete? I'm sure everybody's looking for a little bit something different.
Yeah, so a guy that's doing the still rings is not going to have the same strength plan as a guy that's doing pommel horse. Pommel guys are typically tall and lanky and skinny, and ring guys are usually short and stocky. So it's different. It's definitely tailored to the athletes. And you just kind of have to talk to your strength coach to figure out what kind of plan you're going to do. And if something's hurting, you got to back off. But yeah, you really just communicate. That's all it is.
And what has been your kind of routine? Is there anything you're specifically looking to kind of strength? You do a lot of arms for the girls out there, or leg day. You got to do a lot of leg day.
Well, it doesn't hurt hitting ab day every once in a while.
There you go. Yeah.
But I do a lot of ring strength, so I'm trying to be better at the event, the still rings. So you have to do a lot of specific ring strength, holding the static positions, being held up. And it takes a lot of time, but that's kind of where my plan is at. And then, yeah, occasionally I'll do some hammerhead, some bicep curls, some incline bench just for the self-aesthetic, but nothing else.
Is that something, too, that, it goes throughout all sports? Some guys just naturally like the weight, part of it, and then others have to kind of force themselves to get in there. Are you kind of more naturally in your zone once you're in there, or is it kind of something you have to work out and then you'd rather be out there actually doing the gymnastics?
It varies each day. I mean, waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go lift some heavy circles is not very fun. The bed gets extra comfy in the morning and the pillow's nice and cold. So it's hard to go out and work out. But once I'm there, I love it. I enjoy it because you can feel yourself getting better. You can feel yourself getting stronger. And who doesn't love that?
Yeah. What are we thinking about as far as an eating routine? What has been your routine as far as diet goes over the last couple of years, and now is that going to change coming into college?
So yeah, my diet is significantly changing now that I'm in college. Before I never ate bad. I didn't really track my calories or my protein that much. But now that I'm here, we have a team nutritionist and we eat at the training table, which is all student athletes at Nebraska. So that's your football, your basketball, your baseball, your volleyball, men's gymnastics, tennis. Everyone, we all eat at the same dining hall. It's called the training table, and it's amazing. I mean, the chefs prepare us very high class food, and our nutritionist will have us take a picture of what we're eating and upload it to a website, and he'll either give us the green light and be like, all right, you're good, or he'll make a comment and be like, need more veggies or need more fruit, and then you'll have to adapt. But it's pretty cool being in there with everyone. I mean, I'll be in there enjoying a nice lunch, and I look to my right, and Dylan Raiola is sitting 2 seats away from me, or I look to the left, and Harper Murray's over there. So it's really cool to just be in the company of all these Husker athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I've got some questions too. Whenever you eat anything, like if you go out for a slice of pizza, do you have to snap that too, and your nutritionist will give you like a thumbs down?
No, I just wouldn't log that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I've been trying to be more disciplined about what I'm eating outside of the gym. So no late night chocolate raids in the pantry or anything. When the training table is closed on the weekends, I like to eat at like Chipotle or like Panda Express.
Sure.
But no pizza places really. That's the once in a while cheat day.
Fair enough. And how is I don't want to give you your exact address or anything out here, but how's your living condition been since moving to Nebraska? Has it been a good adjustment to again coming from the high school? You're typically living more at home.
Yeah, my living adjustment has been pretty well. Me and a couple of my teammates have been living in a nice suite, and it's huge. It's really nice. And my room, it's been tough having to clean it every day without, mom or dad reminding you to, but it's become routine now that's been good. And I really enjoy it because even though you share a room with a roommate, you still feel like you have privacy because you guys aren't there at the same time. They're doing something or you're doing something.
Yeah.
So it's been a different adjustment to not be able to just walk downstairs and, see your parents or see your cat or your dog, but I'm making the best of it, and it's definitely not bad.
Yeah. Well, how's laundry now? The laundry's all up to you. How's that been going?
Laundry Sundays, which was today, it's not very fun. It's not very fun, but it has to be done.
Yeah.
You got to grow up eventually. So
it's they have it pretty close in the facility. You don't have to go to
it's
off
like
the way,
15 feet away from my room.
Okay, so not so bad.
And it's free, which is a plus.
Yeah, that also helps. All right, so now back to the training table, because a lot of people have questions about that, and we saw Coach Rule actually just kind of did a peek inside the training table. He I think tweeted that out, or at least the Huskers did. Obviously it does. I mean, it looks fantastic. How does that compare to some of the other visits you had? I mean, because you went to some big time schools, like you said. Were you able to kind of check out their facilities, and is Nebraska's better, worse, comparable? How's it kind of looking there?
So Nebraska is undeniably better in just about every aspect of facilities, eating, dining, all of that compared to every single other school. And the training table, we're one of, I believe, only 5 schools in the country that's fueled by Flick. That's what it's called. And it is amazing. Normal dining halls that I ate at other schools is just microwave, cheap food that doesn't really fill you and doesn't really leave you satisfied. But the training table is incredible. It's fresh. It's never frozen. They make it right before they serve it. And it's healthy. It tastes amazing. And the variety, they have a very wide variety. It's like buffet style, but it's like 100 feet of just different dishes that you can choose from. And they also have a smoothie immunization station where you can order a smoothie, a little protein smoothie in the morning that you want. They have a carb and a protein bar where you can order like burgers, or they can cook you a steak or anything along that alley. They even have a little dessert bar, but it's not like brownies and chocolate and stuff. It's like kind of healthier desserts, but they still taste amazing. And they even have like an ice cream station which that's about as unhealthy as it gets. But we are very lucky to have the training table and to access it 3 times a day. It's one of the best perks about being a student athlete here.
Okay, and so like you said, so it's limited to 3 times a day, or can you pretty much do that? You got like stamps, or how do they know you're going in there 3 times and not 6 times?
So you have to scan your red card, which is like your ID card.
Okay,
And you scan it right when you walk in, and you just get 3 scans a day.
okay,
And you won't really like go back after dinner because we still get like student athletes still get like Husker Bucks for the week. So if you need snacks, you can scoot on over to Hy-Vee and get some. So you don't necessarily go back again after dinner.
okay.
But if you did, I mean, they probably wouldn't say anything because they want the athletes to eat here.
Yeah. They're not worried about you trying to cheat the system.
No, they're
fair
not
enough.
too
I just
worried
didn't know
about
if there was somewhere in there like me, see if I get a 4th meal or something like
Yeah.
that. But so that's very cool. I guess when you kind of like you mentioned kind of those other schools, who else had I guess facilities that kind of stood out to you that were I don't know, like you say, you don't have to compare them to Nebraska necessarily, but I'm sure Ohio State also probably has some pretty nice stuff around.
Yeah, Ohio State was another school that had nice stuff. Ohio State and Nebraska are very similar in the fact that they are tailored to the athletes.
Mhm.
That was a big thing. Big schools like Michigan and Illinois are more tailored to the student as opposed to tailored to the athlete. But I would say Nebraska and Ohio State are both schools that are very tailored to student athletes. And Ohio State was nice. The facilities still just don't compare to Nebraska. I mean, Nebraska has the best facility in the country for gymnastics. It has the best weight room in the country for gymnastics, has some of the best coaches in the country for gymnastics. It's just everything is about the highest class that you can get to train in, to grow in. And I think that itself was just one of the biggest separators about this place. And this school is financially blessed, which means that they can afford to have the best recovery. They can afford to feed their athletes the best. But other schools like Ohio State and Illinois, they could barely afford to keep their program alive. So that is just another thing that separates these two.
Okay, so are there other schools in men's gymnastics that I guess would fit into Nebraska's category? Maybe that you didn't get offers from? Or is Nebraska pretty much the who's who of men's gymnastics?
They're not the top. The top right now is Stanford.
Okay.
But Stanford is just incredibly hard to get into as a
Sure.
student.
Well, yeah.
As a student.
That's true.
So, but yeah, Nebraska, we ranked number 4 last year at national championships. We're looking to crack into the top 3 this year, hoping to win Big Ten championships. We're hosting it this year at the Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Wow.
Nebraska it's one of the best. It's not quite the best, but I hope that it will be the best by the time that I graduate.
That's right. I mean, you can have your hands and maybe change that for Husker fans out there. All right, let's take a quick break. We got one more segment here in the debut show of Ty Roderiques here in his first semester, getting ready for his first fall semester, which I'm sure we could talk. He said he likes some football. Maybe we'll talk about the football games he's planning on going to and much more as we get to know Ty again, not just today, but when he makes his return. But here is our debut episode. We will be back after the break here on 93.7 The Ticket.
When only the best will do. Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Looking for a fun way to give back? Join us for the 2025 Kicks for Kids Nebraska Fun Run Walk, presented by Pinnacle Bank. On Saturday, August 23rd at James Arthur Vineyard, enjoy a scenic 5K through beautiful grounds. Every step helps provide shoes to kids in Lincoln and Lancaster County schools, with options for adults, wine included, and kids. Registration fees include a t-shirt, medal, and bag. Sign up today and make a difference at kicksforkidsnebraska.org.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through August 10th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA choice boneless New York strips for $8.99 each. Duroc whole bone-in pork butt, $2.99 per pound. Colorado peaches, $1.99 per pound. And Busch Light 30 racks, $17.99 each when you buy 2. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Back to Beyond the Routine with Spence on 93.
M Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. Go bold this summer and fall with endless possibilities. Stop in now for the best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coats, dress pants, and dress shirts. M Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right. We got one final segment here on our initial show tonight here, which is Ticket Weekends with Ty Roderiques, the freshman gymnast here for the University of Nebraska, proudly wearing his USA Gymnastics shirt as well. So I'm sure we'll learn plenty more as we kind of do these shows every week. Be on the lookout, by the way. We'll get a new name and personalize it as well. But we're just kind of getting to know Ty, and then we can personalize, like I said, the show a little bit moving forward. Ty, as you know, Husker football is a pretty big deal around here. Are you particularly excited to go to any of the games this year? Have you been? I'm sure you probably haven't been to a Husker game as of yet.
I actually have been to one.
Oh,
Husker
okay.
game.
Which game was that? How was the experience?
I went to Rutgers last year.
Okay.
They won 14-10. It was actually like an amazing experience. I was blown away by some of the traditions that is held here, like holding up your shoe before the kickoff, as well as the balloons being thrown into the air. I thought that was awesome. So I had an amazing experience at that game, and I'm looking forward to going to some more. This year, I'm looking forward to the Michigan game.
Sure.
I think that's the one that I'm looking forward to the most, as well as Michigan State. Looking forward to watch UCLA, Colorado, those games as well. And I think the team's gonna be great this year. I know Dylan Raiola didn't have the best freshman season, but I think he's gonna have a breakout sophomore year, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting for everybody. Again, sorry to compare you to everything. Did you ever go to a Tennessee game there in Knoxville?
Yeah, I had season tickets.
Oh, did you?
I went to the Alabama game where they stormed the field and everything. It was awesome.
Okay, yeah. So how does and obviously, I guess going to a Nebraska Rutgers game might be a little bit different than if they were knocking off Alabama and that sort of thing. But how does the Nebraska atmosphere, would say compared to kind of Tennessee there, and they have over, I think. Was it 90, 100,000 people?
It's 106,000 seats.
Yeah. Wow.
It obviously it doesn't compare head and head as Tennessee does. You can never beat the Neyland effect. But at Nebraska pleasantly surprised me with how big the stadium was, how much they sell out the crowd, the noise. It was very, very fun to be at.
Yeah.
I don't really have many other words, but I definitely enjoyed my time, and I will very much be looking forward to going to more games.
Yeah, that's one of the perks of being a Husker, a student athlete, and just going to school in general. Luckily, you made your wise decision based on what was out in front of you. We often poke. I don't want to say poke fun of, because I was one of those people who go to choose their college based on the football program. So it can always be fun that way. But anything in people that you'd like to shout out? I know you kind of mentioned some of your older teammates. You mentioned your parents kind of helping you get into the sport. Your sister, who's kind of helped Ty Roderiques be the person he is today and along to this path.
Well, first of all, there couldn't be more people to thank than my family. I mean, my parents driving me to practice, paying for all my expensive stuff, my sister being a great friend and helping listen to my struggles. I would say that my parents and my sister have been the biggest three people in my life that have helped get me to where I am. And besides that, my club coach growing up, he's helped so much getting me here and making me the person that I am today. So I would say that those are four people that I know for a fact I wouldn't be sitting here right now if I didn't have the pleasure of knowing them. And those are four people that the rest of my life I am eternally grateful for the things that they've done for me.
Absolutely. They're always the impactful people in everyone's life to help them get the way they are. So it's always good to give them their shout outs when you can. Do you come from the smaller families? Your only sibling, your sister?
Yes, my only sibling is my sister.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're not leaving other siblings out. Maybe you had like a brother you didn't get along with so much. You didn't want to shout out there. How was it growing up with just a sister? Obviously, you got she's an older sister, but I'm sure you still kind of have the prideful, try to protect her and all that sort of stuff a brother typically does, or was she picking on you?
She never needed protection.
Oh, okay.
She's a very independent person.
Well, there you go.
We never had that crazy brother-sister fighting dynamic. I mean, my sister's always been a great friend of mine, and she is incredible. She just graduated from the University of Tennessee Haslam Business Program. She's going to do great things, and we're all very proud of her, and I've been very thankful to have her. She's transferred more from my sister to my friend these last couple of years, and it's been awesome.
Oh, and it's interesting too, as you've moved kind of far away. That's a big jump. A lot of people just don't make. I mean, a lot of people will live in the same city that they grew up in. And part of that is leaving friends behind. And of course, a lot of your friends from back home probably went their own separate ways as well. But how has that been, as part of acclimating to the life? Has you been able to rub elbows with people here in Lincoln, make some friends here already?
Yeah, I made some good friends. I mean, I knew my teammates, my fellow freshmen coming in decently, and I've gotten to know them really well. And I would say that they're some of my best friends right now. So that's been great. But obviously, you miss your friends back home. You miss your family, and it sucks being away. But I'm excited to make new adventures, make new friends, and just make new memories.
All right, now we just got to learn a little bit more about your sports team. So we could tell college football. I'm guessing Tennessee was your top team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that go the same as far as basketball, baseball? Is it pretty much your college team growing up?
Yeah, Tennessee was pretty much I grew up right in Knoxville,
Sure.
20 minutes away from the campus. So everywhere from where I live just bleeds orange.
And is there it's kind of interesting because obviously growing up in here in Lincoln, Nebraska, same type of thing for the Huskers. But there's always a few kids in class that are too cool for the hometown team. Was that the case as well?
No.
Pretty much
No.
everybody was Tennessee.
Pretty much everybody.
Oh, well, there you go. That's they got at least a good thing going there for that. And were a lot of the pro teams you liked? Obviously, Tennessee does have a few of those. I saw they just had the first Major League Baseball game the other day. What were your favorite pro sports teams growing up?
I liked the Patriots a lot because my dad was born in Boston area.
Okay.
So, and my grandparents still live there. So we were kind of raised to be sort of Patriots fans. So I was definitely a fan of them growing up. I was also a fan of the Titans because, being in Tennessee and all. And we would go to a couple Titans games growing up. So that was definitely somebody that I liked. I liked the Red Sox too. And like the Bruins for hockey. So kind of just like the Boston area.
Okay. Were you able to go to Boston? Have you visited Boston?
I have a ton of times.
Yeah, with your grandparents up there. Did you go to any games up there?
I've been to a Red Sox game.
Okay.
And that was awesome. Yeah, Fenway, the Green Monster.
Quite
awesome.
a historic park.
Yeah, it was great. It was so cool to be there.
Yeah, and I say you chose a good time to grow up as a Patriots fan too. They haven't been too bad over the last several years.
Yep.
Well, now recently they're kind of turning to a
this
little
is
bit
their
of a
year.
dip.
This is their year.
But now they're ready to roll, right? Maybe more so the Titans. If the Titans pay the Patriots, who you cheer for?
That's a good question. They actually played the Patriots last year, and I didn't cheer for anybody.
Yeah.
Well, I had fantasy players on both teams,
Oh,
so I
okay,
cheered for those individual athletes. But
Does your fantasy team kind of take over that your rooting interest more so
absolutely.
anyway?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's like $500 in the winning pot. So
fair enough. I've noticed a lot of people more care about their fantasy team than any actual team out there, which is, again, like you said, I mean, it's actual money that could hit your pocket.
I'm a proud coach of my team.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I wanna
General
see them
manager,
succeed.
owner.
Yep.
Yeah, you got a lot to do there. So how many fantasy football teams are going to be part of this year, you think?
Probably just one. Last year I was in two, and it was kind of dividing my focus. And I think that if I can take Ty's terrific picks, that's my team.
That's right.
To the championship, I need to just solely focus on one.
Yeah,
So that's the goal.
I like that. I like the focus being brought into that. All right, that is about our time here today. So we'll go ahead and make an exit. Ty is going to be back here, not going to be available next week, as you do get to go home, as you were saying, and go see your family there before you come back for school. But we will look forward to hearing from you. We know a little bit more about you when you do hit the airwaves once again.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So we'll hear more from Ty Roderiques here in a couple weeks. Looks like he'll be set to take over the 6 o'clock hour every weekend here on Sunday. But we do have a special guest here coming up, similar type of show, a get to know you type of show for Kaylee Dunker of Bellevue University basketball. She will be coming up next year, so don't go anywhere on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Fairway Meat Market your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through August 10th, enjoy 8-ounce USDA Choice boneless New York strips for $8.99 each. Duroc whole bone-in pork butt $2.99 per pound. Colorado peaches $1.99 per pound, and Busch Light 30 racks $17.99 each when you buy 2. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at